me, like we're talking about different musicians and stuff, like that Blaze Bailey, that
Yeah,
singer from Maiden. Nobody really gave him the chance, you
right.
know. And now I hear his solo stuff, and I'm like, man, this dude is bad.
He was a first singer.
No, he was the actual third singer.
Oh, he was a third singer, the one that replaced
Bruce Dickinson.
Bruce Dickinson. Okay, what was the first singer's name?
Paul Di'Anno.
Oh yeah, Paul Di'Anno.
And Paul Di'Anno, you know what? I give him a lot of credit because he had problems with his knees where he needed a full knee surgery.
Oh yeah.
And I was looking at a video of him, and he actually did a whole concert sitting in a wheelchair.
Really?
And he told them, he goes, I could be home crying and all this, or be out here rocking with you guys.
Oh, okay.
And he stood out there.
Clive Wood died?
Yeah.
He died.
Yeah,
he
he
died
died.
recently.
What was it with that nerve damage to his brain?
When did he die?
I think about a year or two ago.
Really? Oh, okay.
Maiden still supported him.
Really? They're still helping him out?
Yeah, they would go to functions, and they would sign autographs, sign memorabilia, and they would put things up for auction to help him.
Kind of raise money for his medical.
And you know what's funny? A lot of people don't know. If you ever see the Number of the Beast video, you know the part where it shows the devils coming down at the end of the of the Beast. One of them is actually Nico McBrain.
Oh, really?
He
wasn't he like a tech? I saw or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, he was like a drum tech. And he so funny about it. He was the one that replaced Clive.
So they had a drummer right there.
He was part of the family already.
Yeah, he was already in there.
And he kept all that quiet. You know?
Well, they have that too. They talk about bands that switch, I guess, singers, but the singers are already in the band. Like they talk about Genesis. You know, Peter Gabriel. He was replaced by Phil Collins.
Yeah.
And then there was some other.
Phil Collins was a drummer, right?
Yeah, he was a drummer. And there was other bands too that I didn't realize. Well, maybe they weren't in the band, but they were replaced by another even stronger musician or whatever. But they didn't talk about Van Halen. I don't know why they left him out.
Who, Van Halen?
Yeah, they were talking about, like bands that changed singers, but they didn't put Van Halen in. I don't know why.
You know what? A lot of people were confused when that 5150 first came out.
Confused about what though?
A lot of people honestly were, should I stay loyal to David?
Oh yeah.
And not.
I was that way too, but I've always been loyal to the Van Halen brothers.
I was like.
I've always been into the music first, not really the vocals. I don't know. Obviously.
I was ready to boo Sammy.
I don't know why, but I don't like singing.
I was ready to boo Sammy when he was doing David Lee Roth songs like Panama and all that. I was like,
he does them better than David Lee Roth does.
But when
I know.
When you're used to, and then you're like, yeah. But then after you're like, man, that was bad.
Yeah.
You're just like, you couldn't hate the guy. That's
no,
what it was.
Because he wasn't really trying to replace him. He was just being a singer and wanted to do his own thing with the band.
And to me, my favorite album from him is Ballads that he did with Van
Well, they're all good albums. I like them all.
They're all good, but my favorite one, I could just sit there. Even 5150 is good, but to me, it's like a little. I still have.
It's kind of popish, yeah.
I still have that little thing, between him and David. That's the first album.
Yeah.
But even though it's bad as shit, but I like Balance. Balance is.
I always say that they should have gave Gary Sharon more time to grow into the band. He made one album. It was just okay and not very good. But they got rid of him. I think if they would have worked with him and give him more time to grow into the band, they would have sounded really good.
I think what it was more the record company. You don't know what kind of deal that they had, and they said you guys better cough up, an album, or we're gonna get you.
Yeah, that's what he talks about. Gary Sharon says that, more that I guess it was pressure from the company to get David Lee Roth back, because that's.
But even after that, they still brought in Sammy after that.
You're right. They did a tour, but even Sammy said he didn't want to do the tour after they were starting midway, because Eddie Van Halen was so out of it. He was high and on drugs and shit. And he said he was just there because he had a contract to fulfill. He was obligated, or else they were going to take him to court.
I still say, this is my personal thing to you, Van Halen.
What if he actually watches this? He's all, wow, that guy just.
Gonna fucking unfriend Danny.
Unfriend him.
I still say you should do one final tour. Half of the set goes to Sammy,
That's
and the
what
other half goes to David, and end with the bang.
And then and you can even have one set with Wolfgang and the other set with Michael Anthony.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, was that what you're saying?
With,
okay.
With with just the basic Van Halen family.
Right,
A
right,
family.
right.
You
Because
know,
Sammy Hagar's reached out to them and said, "Hey, let's be friends."
just do that.
Not even to do like any music, just to be friends and bury the hatchet.
You know,
But
I did that tour that Sammy and David.
Yeah, they actually toured. Yeah,
That was a nightmare.
They said that's looking at whatever the interviews are. Sammy goes, "This guy's a fucking
Yeah.
man." He's like, I try to just be friends. I can't even be fucking friends with this guy.
They
yeah.
showed him on Howard
He was
Stern.
trying to like hang out with them, and he
Yeah,
was
like, "Damn, just have a drink together, or
Just
how
be
about
regular."
At the end, how about if we do an encore forever? For the
Yeah,
people?
yeah.
Come out and you know.
He wouldn't do it.
He was, we didn't even want to even cross. If I had to come in, he couldn't be coming. If we had to be on different.
I saw that same interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Howard Stern or something?
I'm not sure. I know they.
Who was he
talked a lot
talking to?
about
He was
They
talking.
talk
Yeah, it
crap
might have been
about
Howard
each
Stern.
other
Yeah.
on Howard Stern, but they actually showed a documentary on it.
Maybe that's what we watched.
And they showed it over there, and Sammy got mad because at what was it, the Universal Amphitheater?
Uh huh.
David Lee Roth had this giant dressing room where Sammy Hagar had one as big as our room,
Uh huh.
where he had like 20 guests. And he said, "How am I going to fit my family in here and all this in my dressing room?" And this guy has half the stadium.
He was like he wanted to always be a star, huh? Like the.
He was that's how he was.
Well, maybe that's why he's making his other band now, the David Lee Roth
He
band.
don't smile
'Cause
he
he's-
wants to redo it.
Then that's an opportunity for Van Halen to get Sammy Hagar back.
But David Lee Roth says that he's still part of Van Halen. He said they're just doing this right now to take a break. So, you know, because I
Yeah.
know that when Eddie got sick and he was in the hospital,
Yeah.
you know, so you don't know.
I get the feeling it's a cash machine for them, you know? Like, they probably, like, they get mad when they're all flush with cash, and then little by little, like it goes down, it goes down, it goes down, and the accountants say, just fucking go on tour for 3 months, dude.
Yeah,
Fucking
I think that's what it
East
is.
Coast and come back fucking...
Once their accountant starts saying, "Hey, we're getting a little bit
Because it
low,"
can't be like, playing songs that you wrote when you're a teenager, you can't be saying, "Oh, I gotta go play those songs."
yeah,
Because you're playing to old people, fucking little kids. Like, it's not like fucking crazy, you know what I mean? So it's not like new music. New music, you're like, yeah, well, I stop music.
yeah.
And you can't be still stuck on those old songs. They probably fucking hate playing them, man, no matter how good they are. So it's
Imagine playing them all the time, over and
Well,
over.
you know what? You can't really. There's certain bands that look at Judas Priest, look at Maiden. They'll play all those old songs. It was just like when Bruce Dickinson, he came out at the Wacken Festival. He straight out said, "Yeah." He goes, "I wonder what your parents were doing when we did this song." And
Oh,
he goes,
okay.
"Look at all these generations that we got here, and they play Children of the Damned." And it's like, you know, you're like, whoa, you know, it's like, damn. But like I said, they got all those categories where they try to make all their songs the best that they, to their ability. And it's like, there's not really, maybe a handful of songs are just like, it doesn't grab you.
Mm-hmm.
But you say about 95% of all their music, Priest too. I never heard of one bad album for Priest really, except
Maybe Turbo Lovers album.
that was
kinda
all with
nice,
that. That was all about that space age stuff. Because when you looked at
And
Priest,
the drums sounded
Yeah.
crappy on that.
I don't remember
Yeah, I didn't really. I was like,
but that's with Rob Halford and them were on drugs.
oh really?
Rob Halford, they showed that
When did Painkiller come out? Was that after? That was after, huh?
that.
two albums
Different
later.
singer, wasn't it?
No,
No,
was
Painkiller.
Rob.
That was
That was
badass.
Because
That was a
I heard
good
that song, I
one.
heard Painkiller just a couple days ago. And I'm all, fuck, that singer, this sounds like Rob Halford.
No, it was Rob
It
Halford.
is.
And that's when they had Scott Travis on drums, huh?
yeah, that was his first album.
That was his first album, yeah.
I actually got the first tour on.
Really?
I saw a video.
You
saw a video,
You saw them on.
but during that tour.
Oh, really?
Scott Travis on drums
He's good.
during the Painkiller, and
Yeah, that was like a really good CD.
you know that one's a good one. But then I remember when Halford left, and he formed after Fight and all that. He came and he formed Halford.
Mhm.
I heard 2 songs from him, Resurrection and the One You Love to Hate.
Mhm.
And he had Bruce Dickinson singing background on it.
Oh, really?
And I was like, okay, cool, you know, let's hear it. When he came out, I was like, damn, and he was the opening band. It was
Wow.
Halford, Queensryche, and Maiden.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, damn, you know, and that band, they should have put Queensryche on the bottom of them. That's how good Halford, but Halford shows that he has a lot of class where he doesn't mind.
He doesn't have a big ego,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what it is.
He's like, I'll
I
play.
think you gave me that CD. I don't know if you've seen it. It was Black Sabbath. Back in the day, Black Sabbath is playing. But Ozzy's sick. They can't make it to the gig. So
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sings,
It's on YouTube,
They
yeah.
do a whole fucking set, dude. It's fucking
That's awesome, yeah.
Yes, man. I was like, fuck.
That was pretty awesome. That's cool that he's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, I got this one album. I'm not sure. Have you ever heard of Iomi? It's called just Iomi.
I've heard of it.
Did you?
I haven't heard anything from it though.
Oh, okay, I'll make a copy for you. What he does, it's him playing, but he has all these different musicians playing with him.
Oh, okay.
He'll have the singer from the Cult singing with him. He'll have David Grohl. He has the singer. He has all these different guys just singing with them, and these are all original hits.
Okay.
You know, and it's pretty bad. It's a good album. It has that typical Black Sabbath heavy sound.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
but it's just a little bit more. How do you say? Not raunchier. It's just the tempo's just a little bit. It kind of reminds you of some of it. Never Say Die, but with the Black Sabbath version on it, it just has that heavy sound, and you're just like,